And that was the vision at that time Chinese leader used to have. Japan was in developing business, they were needing a cheap labor, and from there they started. Then from there the China took it. So if you see, the first China took an example of collaboration. The private companies, banks, diplomats and aid agencies, and the government was instrumental to organize these things together. Now the China's next obsession is about energy. More than 10,000 Chinese workers are working in Sudan. When we explored in Sudan, we were having sanctions. China don't bother. They have 10,000 employees in the oil fields. US dollar 25 billion loan to Russia for 3 billion barrels of crude oil per day. 1.7 billion deal with Iran to develop an oil field. To develop an oil field. Then CNPC, one of the two companies to win the contract to develop Iraq's oil field. CBC Finance, means the China Banking Corporation, finances 1.2 billion to Iran-Pakistan pipeline. Exim Bank of China supported 2 billion low interest loan to Angola oil for infrastructure. Means when the China want it, they invest it. The question is, can India do it? State capitalism. Biggest importer of oil and largest exporter of manufactured goods from Middle East. China is the biggest importer of oil from Middle East, but the largest exporters of finished goods to Middle East. CAPS investors are the Chinese investors are the Qatar Investment Authority, 2.8 billion, and the Kuwait Investment Authority is 800 million. The China is the partner. Important tourist destination to Middle East businessmen is China. King Abdullah's first abroad visit was to China, not to USA. Can India do it? Another success story in the electronic is Korea and Taiwan. Approach of the Taiwanese tiger was, the figures in bracket, it is written here. This presentation will be available on the website of ISA. They have developed the biggest possible semiconductor industry in 85 onwards. The great investment government supported in the fabs, in the display industry. And if you see the material components, the huge investment. Midstream type of displays, huge investment. Downstream end products, semiconductors, etc., huge investment. Multiple players in every sub-segment organized in a given corridor. Can India do it? The Taiwanese progression. In 1985, it was the aspiring of electronics. And in 09, you see the investment in PRC, means Chinese government invested for the next destination in Vietnam for the semiconductor and electronic development. So 15 plus years of focused effort from government and industry to build a full-fledged ecosystem on electronics. Can India do it? China's support for the Industrial Technology Research Institute. I had took a training recently there for on the display industry for more than 10 to 15 days. It's by a different experience working there. They have a small fabs, whether it is for semiconductors, whether it is for display, within that, and you can go and learn, understand everything. And more than 10 billion of public and R&D and public and private R&D investment done in that one zone and working closely with the industry. Really, can India do it? This is very important for India to follow the model of China, Korea, Taiwan, what they did it. And that's why they are there where they are. What is potential of India? Opportunities in India is large. These are few I am mentioning here. One is wireless, digitization, security, education, energy, healthcare, and automotive. These are the big opportunities in India at this moment, but it can be beyond that. What can the stakeholders do? Who are the stakeholders and what they can do? Stakeholders in electronic value chain are industrial organizations like we all are here, Indian governments, state governments, private sectors, and educational and research centers like IIT, IIMs, etc. What we can do? Industry organizations combine electronic hardware sector expertise and resources. Almost every semiconductor company of the world have a presence in India through their design house. Improve public knowledge on electronics. That industry can easily do. Because today for the common man in India, electronic means TV. Maximum is mobile phone. They don't understand beyond that. Because I am one of the player in electronic industry. So have a great interface with the common man. And Videocon, our group is having a very speciality to work for a special common man of India. And really, they feel electronic means only these two things. But unfortunately, these two things is just 10% of total electronic industry. And that awareness, industry and government will have to bring in that what is electronics. Understand the role of industry in India's potential. You see, there is a great potential of India. It is our responsibility to go and convince and explain the government and government authorities how it's important. Appreciate the rewards of participating on global level. And who all can do it is ISA, NASSCOM, IEEE, SIA, CMA, ELSINA. They can do it. They can bring everybody, like today ISA is last 7 years they are continuously doing it. And that is the result that at least today there is a paper ready for semiconductor development in India. And I congratulate the ISA. The ISA is the only single focus agency who made this effort to change the government's opinion. Educational and research centers have a lot of responsibility. Provide expertise in industry building initiatives. Form a partnership emphasizing the needs of JVs. When we were planning or we are planning to study a display industry, a future display, IIT Bombay came forward with their idea, and Kanpur IIT came forward with their ideas how we can jointly develop it. Vocational training, educating for relevant personnel. Define industry skill set for future researchers, engineers, and management leaders. Private sectors is the major thing. Alliance with MNC. We do understand the private sector in India base may not be able to lead this, but it should be, and they are open for alliances with MNCs, business leaders, and industry experts. Active part in advisory boards designed to guide EMS ventures. Because after all, the last mile of electronic is not only Videocon, Flextronics or LG, Samsung, but beyond that there is lot. And to advise them, to support them also will be the role of private sector. Research, manufacturing initiatives that address regional and international concerns like pollution. Electronic, there is a big myth that electronic create a big pollution like plastic. It is not true. Support and adopt a collaborative research approaches. What government of India can do? Increase core spending on sector related R&D. Encourage partnership and foreign technology based venture capital investments. Develop tech parks and high-tech industry clusters. Provide financial backing for initiatives including human resource development. Share risk, this is very important, but it has been practiced in the eastern countries. Share risk in launching and running industry initiatives, whether it is through agencies or with the help of associations like ISA, FICCI, CIIA. Government has to do this. Strict implementation of IP rights to promote innovation. Even today, lot can be and should be done for protecting IP rights. Corporate rewards for the private sector. The encouragement is very important. Then coordinates efforts by ministries, private sector, research labs and academic circles. And Government of India has experienced this. The great vision of late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi ji on software and computer business has made you see where India today. In 1986-88, I was very much in industry. He took a decision to bring down the import duty on the computer and computer parts from 150% to 30%. It was greatly criticized at that time. Greatly. Of course, at that time, media was not so strong because not so avenues were there, but it was greatly criticized. He was the only person who supported no, and he was the electronic minister, for your information. And he used to initiate all this thing. He used to call industry leader. At that time, we were very, very small people. But he used to encourage. He visited Videocon at that time, and the only land breaking ceremony he attended in his whole career in the private sector is only the electronic when we started a glass shell plant in Gujarat. And he was of the vision that we should have our own computer, we should have our own supercomputer, we should have our own picture tubes from making of our sand. And let us see where it is today. Today we are the largest, okay, it's a dying industry, but still Videocon is the largest player of color picture tube industry in the world. In 2005, we have acquired Thomson and maintained our leadership. So that is the vision. If government today go ahead, it will make very successful India. So how can India do it? Is four corners, industry organizations, Indian government, private sector, educational and research center, all jointly do a collaboration, a clear roadmap and policies, and focused approach towards the growth of electronic industry that will make India's vision not only $400 billion in 2020, it will be approximately $1 trillion. Why it is? Because we have a potential, we have a growth, and we have intellectual, and we did it in software industry. India did it, and definitely we will do it. I once again thank you for ISA giving me opportunity to give my vision on electronics. As a Videocon group, we will continue to invest in electronics. We will definitely try in future with the government support to develop a semiconductor desire of our group, and mainly LCD or the future LCD fabs in India. Thank you very much once again giving me opportunity. Thank you.